Morning, everybody. This is Mr. Johansson with another episode of Yo at Home. Hope you are doing great today. Today we're going to be talking about porosity and permeability. These are ideas about the ground and water generally going through the ground. So we start with porosity. What is porosity? Well, it's the amount of pore space in something. So it's the amount of open space in something. So think of something that has a large amount of open space in it. It would be very porous. A sponge, for example. Sponge has a great deal of porosity. Okay, it's just the amount of open space in anything. If we have a rock, a typical sedimentary rock like sandstone, many sandstones, they're glued right where the grains of sand touch, but the rest of it is open space. And the spaces are large enough to let water pass through. That brings us to permeability. Permeability is the ability for water to pass through something. So these are related concepts. And to understand them, we have to think about one particular feature of water. And that thing that we have to talk about with water is stickiness. How sticky is water? So what do you think? Is water a sticky thing? Many people would say, no, water's not sticky. Well, how about when you get out of the shower? Can you just jump up and down quick and all the water falls off you? No, you need a towel. And the towel will absorb the water from you, and you have to work at drying yourself off. How come the water stays on you? Because water is sticky. Water is sticky. It has quite the adhesive property. So let's think about this then. Let's think about sandstone, and we have chunks of sand all in contact with each other. They were all glued together here. So we have grains of sand. All right, so these are all grains of sand, and they're all glued together. And look at what's in between them. All this stuff are pore spaces. They're spaces where water could fit. Now, if water isn't there, air will fit in them. But as you can see, there's quite a bit of space there. Cool. All right. Well, as water flows down into it, the water sticks to the grains. So we have a little layer of water covering and stuck to everything. But look at all the spaces where the water isn't. This sticky water is not going to be able to flow. It's stuck to the grains. But as long as the pore space compared to the layer of sticky water is quite large, water can continue to flow through this rock. So while this rock is porous, it is also permeable. All right? Great. Now let's move on to a much smaller rock. All right? Or rather, a rock with much smaller grains in it. How about something like, making it too big. How about something like shale? All right? Now, shale might have similar amounts of pore space because the particles that make shale up are usually quite flat. It's actually less pore space, but I'm drawing it with some pore space here. But as you can see, the pore space is each pore is very tiny. Now, why does this matter so much? Well, we get back to the stickiness of water. So even though this rock is porous, once it gets wet, that stickiness of water completely fills the pore spaces. So there's no place for water to flow through. So if this is shale and this is sandstone, you could see while they both might be porous, only sandstone is going to be permeable. Shale, because the water will fill the spaces and its stickiness will not allow it to flow through, shale will not be permeable. So shale is not permeable. Sandstone is most definitely permeable. Okay, so if you drill a hole, if you have the ground here, and you drill a well, if the ground is all made of our good friend shale, the only way you're going to be able to get any water out of that is if the shale is cracked. Now, fortunately, shale is often cracked and water flows through there. That's not necessarily a good thing if you also have a septic system there. On the other hand, if you have ground and you have a great deal of sandstone under you, and you drill a well into that, the sandstone is permeable, and water will flow into your well and fill up your well, and you will have fresh, clean water filtered from the sandstone. So porosity and permeability. Again, porosity, amount of open space; permeability, ability for water to pass through something. Simple as that. Thank you.